Terence Crawford says Canelo is ducking him at 160, but wanted to fight Errol Spence at 160. Is that fact or fiction? What's good, everybody? It's your boy, Cardinal Reds. But let's talk about it. Alright, so the big homie Terence Bud Crawford recently had some things to say about a potential matchup between him and Canelo Alvarez, and what Canelo Alvarez had to say about Errol Spence Jr. I just wanted to break that down, give my 2 cents for anybody listening.
How you Alvarez fans gonna get mad? How y'all gonna get mad? I would say that there's no way that y'all can get mad, but we know that y'all still will get mad. You heard what your man said. He can't make the weight. The fight is not interesting. The fight does nothing for him. Yet he said he could make the weight when it comes to Errol, and he was all for it. But when it came to Terence Bud Crawford, just like everybody else, he ain't want no smoke.
Alright, y'all. So Terence Crawford, man, funny character. And he's really pursuing this Canelo Alvarez fight. I really don't know why, when there's so many other opportunities he could jump on and make those fights pretty easily, like Boots Ennis, Thurman fight. He could easily take a fight with Emilio Stanionis. You know, there are plenty of names out there. The Errol Spence rematch, the Jermell Charlo fight at 154. So he has opportunities to take fights. He just seems to want that big payday that comes along with the Canelo Alvarez fight. And he recently said some things about Canelo Alvarez and him wanting to fight Errol Spence about a year or two ago at 160 pounds. And I think Terence feels like Canelo's being a little contradictory by actually wanting to fight Spence and perhaps take advantage of Spence's popularity, but not wanting to fight him.
I don't fucking like you.
And I kind of find it funny because that's the same thing that Terence Crawford was doing. That's the same tactic that Terence Crawford uses on people. Basically that, you know, he didn't want to fight Errol Spence until he got all the leverage. He doesn't want to fight Boots because there's no money attached to it. He doesn't want to fight Charlo because he feels like the competition's not going to be there. Well, these are all the same reasons why Canelo doesn't want to fight you.
I'm gonna stay in my own lane. All that extra talking you doing, man, I ain't with none of that.
So I think it's kind of funny. I think it's kind of, you know, silly. I think Terence Crawford, for lack of a better word, he's running out of options. I think he has good options as fights to put together, but most of his options, he's not going to get a big payday like he would for a Errol Spence fight or a Canelo fight. And most of his options that he does have are guys that could potentially beat him. I.e. Boots, you know, maybe Jermell Charlo if he actually comes to fight. Keith Thurman, you know, that'd be a toss-up. But the same reasons why Terence Crawford didn't want to fight Errol Spence until he had pretty much everything in his favor, or a lot of things leaning toward his favor, it's the same reason Canelo doesn't want to fight you. There's nothing in it for him. If he fights you, he's not going to get a big payday because you don't sell pay-per-views like that, and you have to be attached to another big name to actually sell a pay-per-view. He's not going to want to fight you because if he beats you, they're going to say he beat up a small guy, 147-pound fighter, and he's not going to get any praise for that. As well as there's nothing else in it for him. There's no popularity gain. There's no money gain. So why would he fight you and potentially have to go through a grueling negotiation the same way that Errol Spence had to go through a grueling negotiation just to fight you and not get anything out of it except to say, hey, I beat Terence Crawford. But at the end of the day, beating Terence Crawford, for him, there's nothing in it. You know, there's just nothing in it. Now, if Terence Crawford fought Boots Ennis and Boots Ennis was to beat him, well, Boots Ennis is a big winner in that situation because Boots doesn't really have anything to offer Terence Crawford other than, you know, his name and his potential, you know, in the future.
I'm helping everybody out, yet they still don't want to be around me. Be honest, is there something wrong with them?
Same thing with like guys like Keith Thurman. Now, Jermell Charlo, there's something in it for Crawford there. You know, he still has, I believe, 3 out of the 4 titles, or it might have been 5 titles that Jermell Charlo holds at 154. I do believe they stripped him of 1, so he doesn't have all the titles anymore. He's not undisputed at 154 anymore, but he does have the majority of the titles. So if he fought Jermell Charlo, he would become like a 3 or 4 time champion at 154 if he beat him. So there are things to gain for him there, but for some reason he doesn't want to fight Charlo anymore either, and I just don't get Terence Crawford at this point. I don't understand how you could call out a guy and then as soon as he takes a loss, you say that there's nothing in it for you. Well, he still holds all those titles, so you would be a champion at another weight class. I thought that's what you wanted. So, you know, I think it's kind of ironic. It's kind of funny. It's kind of backwards. I think Terence Crawford does a lot of stuff backwards, and he doesn't really think before he speaks. But it is what it is. You know, the same tactic that you're using for leverage against people is what Canelo's using against you. So if you do actually get a Canelo fight, you're probably only going to get like 10% of the purse because he's going to leverage you to death to make that fight.
Knock down, get back up, and fight you to death. See, Ali, that's the only thing about Ali. When you were watching Ali get beaten up as an old man, even if he was a young kid, he's not going to quit. You got to kill him. Even he was getting beat up every round, getting the shit kicked out of him by Larry Holmes. And it's a champ. No, come on up, let me out, come on out. He would have to stay up there and just take the beating like a man. He wouldn't quit. I always like to think I'm a bad motherfucker, vicious motherfucker. I don't give a fuck, but that's a part of Ali. That's where he overshines me, because I can't understand a man that's willing to just really die for this. You know, and I talk that shit, but he's the real dick. Ali's a giant. There's no way other fighters can match him. He'll die for this shit. He'll die. I'm not gonna die for that.
Y'all let me know what y'all think about all that down in the comment section below. Hit that like button for me. A share. Subscribe. Holler at me on all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. But you're more than likely to get a response on the tube, so holler at me over there. If you want to collabo, feature a product or your channel on my channel, feel free to hit my Gmail, because it is a flock of cards at gmail.com. And we are mining.
It's about bread, fuck what you talking about. If you ain't talking about that bread, then I'm walking out. Sorta like DJ I get my bud online, call it eBay funk. Nigga, better prepare to lean. Young Keys, that nigga spitting kerosene since I was a early teen. Now I'm in my mid-20s like a cold day. Niggas in the hood say I did it like OJ. Okay, you think Keys ain't got a grip? You don't pain like you're walking around without a hip. This is for my niggas zooming up and down the strip. Wood will grip like a pirate ship. You don't want nothing with it. Mine on the digits. If you hating, you can get it.
Got the keys to the city.
You don't want nothing with it. Mine on the digits. If you hating, you can get it.
Got the keys to the city.
You don't want nothing with it. Mine on the digits. If you hating, you can get it.
Got the keys to the city.
You don't want nothing with it. Mine on the digits. If you hating, you can get it.
Got the keys to the city.
You niggas better get more cream. You niggas broke like the levees down in New Orleans, and it ain't no fixing it. Engineer mixing it. Had to wear a coat cause it's cold like Switzerland. Got the hood blistering. All the niggas listening. Throw back Weber. Shorty thought I played for Michigan. Nah, it's the bill, dude. Still, here's what she'll do. Let a nigga cut long as I bring a pill through. And you don't want nothing with it. Gone off control, Grey Goose got me shitty. I go hard for the digits, got the keys to the city. I'ma show you how to get it. You don't want nothing with it. Mine on the digits. If you hating, you can get it.
Got the keys to the city.
You don't want nothing with it. Mine on the digits. If you hating, you can get it.
Got the keys to the city.
You don't want nothing with it. Mine on the digits. If you hating, you can get it.
Got the keys to the city.
You don't want nothing with it. Mine on the digits. If you hating, you can get it.
Got the keys to the city.
I got the remedy, plenty weed, Hennessy. see. A little skinny freak, legs like a centipede.